All right, guys, this is Elliot Wave Sage. Like always, none of this is financial advice. Always do what's best for you. Just use this for your education and entertainment purposes only. So I just will jump into a quick market overview and where things are based on how I see it, and then go into your questions. So the market overview, when I look at the market overall, it's obviously in some type of wave three, right now, that has all the personality of wave three, a relentless push higher. But that's also a personality of a C at the end of a C wave as well, if it's corrective. So everything that happened today was just a risk divergence. So what by doing that, it means it's actually not an impulse still. It's still just in the top of three of three of three, which is the top of C. So the bears actually have hope that it's this, right? And we actually drop another swing lower. Technically, everything here is valid. I can show you right here. That's valid. This could be three swings. It could be, I could force five, whatever, and I could push it down to 499. However, of course, it just seems so relentless and so one-sided. Why would it go down? There's no reason to. So the three at some point will end. We'll get a 4 and a 5. Now, once we break this high, if this plays out just like I have it here, with a 4 and a 5, this 5 is done. This 5 is done. This means no 600, no 650, no moon boy. It's over because the bearish divergence won't be able to be overcome, right? You'll have a new high with massive bearish divergence. That's what will play out here, a wave 5. So what the bulls need, and they're desperate for, is you need to finish this impulse below the peak, pull back, reload, and then launch for these higher targets. But that's not look like what's going to happen. It looks like we're going to probably break the all-time high here and do something like this and finish 5. And guess what? Once 5 is done, then then there's no more swings left. And then the debate about is it a 4 or not a 4 is irrelevant. Because now you're in 5 and 5 is over at any moment. Now, can I say that's going to happen for sure? I don't know. I don't know if it's going to happen for sure. The only thing I know is there are signs in the market that the market could go higher. Japanese yen could get weaker. Okay, that will push the market up if that happens, most likely. The other sign is the VIX. This broke some key levels. It could still push lower to the 12.5. That could push the market higher. So there's signs. Market can go higher. Okay, and then there's individual stocks that seem like they want to go higher. But there's also, like I said, the bear case. So in this situation, you're just going to have to decide what you believe in and make that play. And then just understand that going long here, if you're in the bear case, you could lose a lot of money very quickly if this is the bear case and we're still in 4. If we're not, you'll make a little bit of money, a little bit more. And then at some point, there'll be not just a rug pull, but like a catastrophe, because this would be wave 5 of 5 of 5. The grand super cycle could be over. So we just don't know. We just don't know. But it really is a nice feeling if you're long. But even as a day trader today, you could have made a ton of money just buying in the morning and selling on close. All right, so the Dow Jones, again, these labels I can go bearish or bullish. I'm just showing you if we make a new high, what it looks like. So the Dow Jones would come up, break the high, somewhere around 42,000, and then a big pullback. But I only have it up in 3, so we have a 4 and a 5. So the Dow Jones is like missing a 4 and a 5, or if this is a 3, it's a flat, and then it crashes all the way back down. So we don't know. But it's whatever it is, it's still wave 5. It's still wave 5. Could I be off by a swing? Sure. This could be mislabeled by one swing, and this could be actually 5 right here. 42,000, the market peaks, and we'll never see that number again. That's some significant number, historical significant number. 42,000. We'll all remember it. We'll have it on our refrigerator. We'll never see it again for a long time, possibly. Nice, perfect round number. The SPY, the triple Qs. This one's lagging a little bit, but it's still got the excitement. This one, again, I could label it as an impulse down with 3 up. Divergence erased today. No impulse. So now it's corrective again. Could end at any moment and take a big swing down to 394. Or again, we make a marginal high. Wave 5 extends. Not a big deal. Just change the labeling. We extend. But still wave 5 of 5. And now the bearish divergence will be even more severe if we can break this high. But this one is lagging a little bit. IWM is actually in a short area for those, I guess, are brave enough to try to short it. Well, there you go. Now, I've called this peak in. It's yet to be seen if we break it or not. Again, saw some good upside today. We'll have to wait and see. But again, we need to erase divergence, and we did that today. So now this can be finished at any moment if this is the short opportunity. Today was the day to take it. If you're brave enough to take it for a push down, the Hang Seng looks like it should reverse, although we could be forming another connector within this wave where we truncate it, pushing us down to retest this low in just a different structure. Again, people just bought the dip a little too soon, which means it goes lower than we thought. Something like that. Bitcoin is struggling. It's weak. It supports the bearish case. We're kind of coming up on this trend line here. Again, they're desperate for you to buy. There's so many people trying to squeeze this. They're just desperate. There's people, I mean, on the internet praying, begging for more upside. I've never seen the hope. Like, that's not typical of bear market or correction lows. It actually shows we haven't had capitulation. I think this move is coming down. Even if X wants to do like a scam wick up here to screw to shorts and then drop, just watch for that. But right now it's kind of in no man's land. Bitcoin's in no man's land. Oil is breaking down just like we've expected it to. The war in Iran fizzled out. Again, no war. So just a lot of bark, no bite, but that's okay. I'm sure they got something good in return that we'll never know about. And again, I mentioned this supports the bear case because typically when oil in its historical charts breaks these kind of consolidation structures, the market tends to crash. I retweeted another guy that posted basically the same thing. You can read about that, and that's so true. If we're going to break out of this triangle and go down, it's going to go down quickly and more than likely will bring the rest of the market with it. That's what it historically has done when this happens. Silver is in a short area, but I think if you could say the bear, this swing down is over. We're in a new upswing. Yes, we could be in 2. I could change the label with just a couple clicks of a button to make this a 3, 4, and 5, and we get to $35 an ounce. And then a big pullback. I don't know. I just have it labeled this way. It doesn't mean I think it's going to go. It doesn't mean I think it's going to crash. It doesn't mean I think it's going to 35. I honestly do not know where it's going. I just know that it's bullish off of 26.40. So dips are going to be supported as long as you're above $26.40 an ounce. Once you break that, then you're in the bearish case. The 2 is in, and it's game over. Until then, assume it's going to go higher. And if you're lucky, it goes up to 35. If you're not, well, you're gonna stop out at 26.3. Gold, again, my chart could be wrong. I have it in a 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, one more high, and it's all aligned with the bearish divergence we need on every peak, just like we would expect. For a 5 of 5 of 5 and 3, and then we have a big pullback. Okay, that's what I have. Again, Moonboy says, "Oh, it's just going to go to 5,000." Well, maybe it will. Maybe it will. Who knows? Again, I'm just showing you what I think. The most conservative count, the most probabilistic. What has the highest probability of occurring. The dollar index. I just had to tweak the count a little bit, but I still have the general idea of ABC and this D leg that should be coming to an end any moment. The dollar index should be looking for a turn soon higher. That's what we're looking for. Should be coming soon. Japanese yen's real tricky, guys. This is real tricky stuff, this Japanese yen, because this is what's, I think, driving the market. Now look at this pump on the 4-hour. This could have truncated. Now I don't think it did. I think it's going to push up here. This supports the bull case. Okay, this supports the bull case. So what would this become? WXY. Okay, and then this was just a flat. And I mentioned this possibility earlier, right? And this and then we got this, and then got the market surge. Okay, and we bounced here. This surge, that was today's bounce. That's why the market went up. This little bounce here. And we bounced right from the level you would have expected in a flat, and we bounced. So more than likely we're going to do this. More than likely that should support the market. Theoretically it would. When we're in this area, the market's susceptible for a potential big drop. Maybe the indices are in that wave 5 position. Break all-time highs. People are euphoric. And then they get this when we got the same thing. And we all know what happened after that. So that's a possibility. Now, what could negate this and say, hey, the top's in? Well, it's pretty simple now. We put the X here. We take this low out right here, F145.12. It's trying to push down to do that. We take that out, then more than likely we're coming back to retest this low. And more than likely we'll break it, and we'll create strength. So then the X is in, which means the bear case is alive and well. Then, maybe we are still in 4. Oh, shit. We're still in 4. So we don't know. So watch the yen. I think the yen is crucial if you're a short-term trader watching this thing. Because if you break 145.1 here, this area, break this, I would say the bearish case may come back alive again. May come back alive, come back to life. Right now it's dead. The bearish case is probably dead until this thing plays out more to the weakness. Just by what I'm thinking. Bond market should be having a big breakdown coming. The last time we did that, it was a big sell-off, right? When we got that big drop here. So this is kind of telling me we should have a big sell-off. So we have, this is a bear signal. Risk off. Oil, risk off. The yen, is it going to trick us and go stronger and not swing up? Risk off. So there's all these cross-current, mixed signals in the market. Mixed signals out there. You know, silver looks like it wants to go higher, although it is in a sell area. So, you know, Bitcoin looks weak. So you got all these mixed signals, but yet the indices keep surging ahead. As retail piles in, again, I retweeted that this bot has been bought by a lot of retail. As well as buybacks, as well as it was buybacks, retail, and there was some other flow that rebalance it of triple bull ETFs or some shit like that. So the only organic buy-in you got was retail. The others was just forced mechanical buy-in. They're gonna buy like lemons. They're gonna buy at any price. Maybe the sellers knew that. Maybe the sellers knew all these buybacks were coming. And if you're a seller, why do you want to sell it at 424 when you know you got all these buybacks? Well, stop selling and let the buybacks come in, and then you could start selling up here. I mean, I'm not that smart, but maybe it's just that simple, you know, when it comes to what's going on. All right, the VIX is another one we want to keep an eye on. So the VIX. Like I said, there's major support here on this black line, 12.5. Major support. It tends to hug 12.5. Yeah, it breaks down sometime, but it just loves this little area, and it goes back years, decades. The VIX loves to hug around this area. Yeah, once in a while it may come down. So this is kind of the floor in my mind. UVIX broke the all-time low. It's opened you up to more downside. Now, is it a straight line down? Probably not. So that's a bull case. That supports the bull case, okay? Mixed messages. So there's mixed messages out there. You're going to have to decide which side of the market you feel is the best for you and you're comfortable with. But just know that you may be buying a wave 5, which people may be fine with, right? That may be cool. But if this is a 5 and when it ends, it's probably not going to just give you a lot of warning that it's over. It's probably going to be a big drop to welcome you in. So if you're buying up here, just you probably will get round tripped. Now, if you're lucky enough to get down here, you probably will have time as a warning to get out with some of your gains. I doubt we'll go from here to here in a 20% crash, 1987 style, although anything's possible. But I think this is 5 will. It seems likely we're going to come up, make this high, finish the 4 and 5 up here, and then that's it. And that will complete the swing on this. The Qs may or may not make a new high, probably won't make it. IWM probably won't make it. The Dow Jones makes a new high up to this area. And then whatever happens after that is anyone's guess. That's what I think is going to happen, but I'm not trading that. I'm just telling you guys how I feel, and I could easily be wrong, and we could just do the opposite and crash, and I wouldn't be surprised at that either. So that's why I said it's a tough market to trade. All right, so that's the end of the market update, guys. I'll go into your questions. I think the market isn't going to move until Powell's speech and then Nvidia earnings. I think until then, this market just kind of melts, just kind of chops around it melts up. But those two events are probably your event risk, along with any black swan that may show up. Okay, cool. Let's go to super chats. Kaled, SAVA, yeah, SAVA. So a lot going on with stocks. Today was an easy day for money. Today was, like I said, the house always loses on a day like today when it was just straight up. I mean, you would think like it would be harder to make money in this market on the long side. I mean, it's almost too easy. This has got to be some historic bull market that we'll tell our grandkids about that we'll never see again in our life when it ends. I mean, this is going to be something. I mean, I just can't believe the market's going to be like this for years to come, because everyone's going to be a millionaire, because it's just insane how easy it is to make money on the long side sometimes. All right, so I still think SAVA's discount. Now, can it get to 40? I don't think so. And the reason I have a little more confidence in discount is look at how this thing bottomed here. Okay, look how it bottomed. Let's take a look one more time here. So let's see here. Let's look here. 1, 2, 3. So I'm taking a deeper look because you're asking that question. Let me just take a fresh look at this one more time for you on the wave 1. Okay, there's 5. A, B, C. All right. So there's A, B, C, and then we'll do it like this. W, A, B, C, X, Y. So there's B, and then there's C. Okay. And then C is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With these, this is a classic corrective pattern to me. Okay, so it's corrective down, and then we come up in an impulse. So the question is, did it correct deep enough? Yeah, I'm looking at this. Here's the thing. Here's the thing I see. Maybe I'm too bearish on it. And again, I got to go. Let's go back to just even this first. See, this is the one. But see, you erase divergence there and there. Yeah, maybe I'm just not looking at it right. Maybe you know, we did get the rejection where we wanted it to because the impulse in C finished. Why don't we try to trade it a slightly different way given how bullish this market is? We're not going to worry about the label in front of it. We're just going to label it from the bottom and just go with the market for now. And I think that's probably the best way to try to trade it. In that way, you don't get trapped in missing out in the gains that that you're mentioning. So if that's the case, I'm just gonna graph it from here as if it's in a bottom, which means we should get a pullback here, but it should be a buyable dip as long as you're above 2114. So this is an impulse up with a little bit of divergence. It looks like the 45-minute cycle did break. So it looks like it's due a pullback like the rest of the market looks like it needs to. And then maybe it comes out, or you get one more swing and then it crashes like we thought before. So I think from my point of view, though, I would just trade it higher above 2116. And then when you get 2 and you turn, then your stop loss moves to this wave 2. And then you trade it higher from wherever this level is until the market gets you out. And then you're on the right side of it because, you know, I can make the case that maybe it bottomed in the count earlier is just not labeled right. Looking at it closer. Now will it go to 40? I don't know. I can't guarantee. All I'm showing you is what I think it is. I looked at it deeper here to give you a better chance. But I do think it's got this 2 coming. Now, if this 2 breaks 2092, then my original count stands, and it's going to be wiped out. But I think it's got a pullback. 120. I mean, that's crazy if it gets that high. All right, anonymous. VRAX. I'm not sure if I know that one. I don't remember. I don't think we have done that one before. Oh, is that biotech one? Let me sort my symbols here. Where are we? There we go. Holy shit. Look at that. So, I mean, is it still B? It probably is. It's just obviously it blew by our target. Hopefully you caught the upside in that. Jeez. Oh my God, it went to, that's insane. So obviously looks like Y is finished. I don't think there's anything to say. I think there's nothing to say here. I think we got Y already. There you go. Now it's just chasing it. I mean, but if you look at this W, you had 3 defined swings, so I wouldn't be surprised if it takes another swing higher. So we kind of had the right idea, just the wrong timing, because we still called for more upside on our last update, right? I mean, I'll go back. So we still have more upside. It just extended way beyond our imagination. So hopefully you were still on the right side of that trade, just a different the Y was it, the Y's we're in Y. But I would actually expect consolidation and another push to finish it up. All right, Angel, Holo and Novax. Yeah, Novax was one I was debating. Should that be a vaccine play or not? I didn't think it would be. So Novax here, when I look at it, we have 5 off the low, great. But here's this divergence with the lower lows. So we're in a connector wave that should fail. I just don't know when it's going to. It's in some kind of connector. So it could be as simple as this, or you could still be in B and then come back later. That's probably what we're going to do. So I'll be looking for something like this, where it comes back up to 20 maybe, and then drops again later. Because it's got to come back down and take out that divergence. So You know, that's what I'm thinking. We'll see, but there's no guarantee that that will happen. B could easily be in here. I don't really like to trade it. Holo is one that we warned about when it broke that one low a long time, like about a month and a half ago, not to get in it. But is it finished yet? So let's take a look. Looks like all these small caps were pumping today. So we were close, right? Look, obviously it looks like it's probably finished its cycle. 1, 2, 3, 4, probably a 5 here. And then that's probably it right there. So that probably ended it right there. So yeah, it's probably finished a major cycle here with this big turn. I don't know how high it will go. I mean, I guess we could use our imagination, but it's bullish off of this low now. It's bullish off of this low. It looks like it's still in an impulse. It's maybe trying to finish a fifth wave here. So it looks like it's trying to push up on that fifth wave. Maybe you get that, but then a big fade. But that should be supported for more upside later. Okay, good luck. Mark V, let's go to your question here. These are both ASX stocks. All right, I'll take a look at these. MQG. Let's take a look. MQG. So right away you don't see any wave 3 here. You just see a wave 1, 2. You just see like a 1, 2, 1, 2 setup. Right? So now you're in another 2. So this 2 is probably got to come back down and take this out, but stay above this. So it's obviously, I think it's still corrected in 2 here, in probably a flat correction or a could be a very sideways move, but I think it'll be a sharp, quick correction to get that divergence out, you know. So it really could drop anywhere in this area. But the most important thing is for it to drop and on the monthly and take this out right there. But stay above this. If it can't stay above this, then it's correcting the whole grand super cycle, and it's labeled too aggressive, and then it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, not a 1, 2, 1, 2 here. So I just label it this way, but I think it's got more downside coming. Even if this does push higher, it just seems likely to me that that's what's going to happen. Let's see here on the monthly. Yeah, too much bearish divergence. So it's topping out. All right, the next is AD8. I think we've done this one before. All right, hit our buy area and basically V bottomed. So wave two is in. Now it's going to push higher. So hopefully you bought it where I had this box for you, and now it should just be coming to life again. 1, 2, 1, 2, maybe 3, 4 here, but maybe not. So I won't label it, and we'll just see how high it can go. But I think as long as you're above this low, you're in a whole new bull market in this stock for hopefully a lot of gain in wave 3 as it sees the power of wave 3. Now, will it be straight up? Doubt it. It could be. But as long as you're above that low, technically you should be good in this, just like we called it. Also 88 now corrected March within the August crash are still for. I don't think there's a further swing down because the concept is backing into the low. So one, look at that capitulation there. We'll look at the daily too in a minute. You see how the 4-hour cycle broke like that? So this bounce is resetting the whole cycle, this whole cycle. So this is a new cycle. So if you break this low, there's no more room. It's a go to zero moment. So you have to back into the low. So you have to believe it's the low. If not, this stock is toast. It's gone. It can't be resurrected. Now the daily cycle is what is key. The 4 hours is a clue, but the daily cycle is key. And look, you're right up there. I think you're about to break through the daily cycle. Once you do that, then you know the bottom's in. So I guess technically, there's still a chance. Here's the thing. There's still a chance the daily cycle rejects you. If the daily cycle rejects you here, then what this label becomes is something a little different. It'll become like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You'll bounce. Okay, you'll bounce like that. And then it'll be game over. The stock will be gone. That's what will happen in an ABC. So just because I say it breaks the low doesn't mean it's just going to like go to zero overnight. It's going to actually break the low in a wave 5, bounce pretty considerably, but it probably will never come back to those highs. Right now, it has a chance to do that because it's a corrective structure that that finished exactly where we wanted it to. It bounced perfectly. Everything about it's great, but we just need a little more upside to come, and then we're good. So we just don't have 100% certainty yet. The 4 hour though gives you a clue. The daily cycle most likely will break because it's pretty bearish to have the cycle reset and not do that. So I think this is an important low that has to hold down here. All right, Nirvan, let's go to yours, TCNNF. All right, TCNNF. Cannabis stock. All right, how's these guys doing? So anytime you break the all-time low in a structure like this, it's a bearish move that will usually mean any bounce is going to fail and go lower, which you could see that in the impulse as it's making its way down here. Right? So now where are we here? It looks like to me we're going to have another swing higher. That looks like 5 up. Yeah. So this looks like to me 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that. Now, we have to be careful of a flat connector, but I don't see that. So I don't see the flat connector, so I do think you'll get another swing higher. Now, you see how you broke that low right there, so that sets you up for another swing down. I don't know when it will happen. If it happens now, that'll bring you to 505. But I believe that's a buyable dip in this area for another push higher in some kind of move like this. At least I think you'll get something like this. Now, this could keep bouncing and then you just raise your target. But right now, it's tough to say the short term, where is it going to just head straight down to 501 and give us that entry, or is it going to bounce more and then fail later, which it could do. We just don't know. We just don't have that crystal ball. It could easily do that. It could easily keep going a little bit higher in this connector. Right? Because this looks like 5 down. Like that. And then this looks like this could be like an ABC connector. Like that. I would say almost expect that, because look at this. This looks like 3 waves, so it looks like a bear trap right there, and then the bulls will get destroyed later on this. So that's what I'm thinking. You'll see something like that. All right, less L. Yeah, I do whatever people want as long as I can read the charts. Sometimes the stocks there's so little liquidity in the stock, I can't read it. I can't do that. Um, K SCP Night Scope. So again, when you look at a chart like this, it's almost impossible to know where the low is. So you have to look at it from an RSI perspective, but we don't have enough chart data. Uh, Looks like it just IPO'd or something. All right, so the best way to trade it is you broke this low on obviously some kind of connector. So we could try to find a target here, Fibonacci target, but unfortunately it's negative, so that's not really helpful. So the only other way to really chart it is to look at this wave and see how good your Elliott wave skills are and how much risk you're willing to take. So right away you see there's your wave 3, and then you have some bullish divergence for wave 5. That's good. Now we're looking at the daily cycle. As you can see, the daily cycle broke higher but got rejected. That's bad because this could be a couple things now. This could become a 1, 2, and it's just that's it. You didn't get any bounce. Now this seems a little like it should go a little bit higher, right? You would think. So more than likely it won't do that. Let's look at, so then you go to like a higher time frame. Let's look at the weekly cycle. All right, the weekly cycle did turn. So yeah, I think you are seeing it turn higher off this low here. So I would say more upside as long as you're above 17.7. You could trade it like a bull market until you stop out at one of a pivot. So this looks like to me 5 up. You see the divergence. So yeah, I think this will continue higher from this low. And now this doesn't look like a good bottom, but we did erase divergence, so we could probably put the 2 there. And now it's moving higher. And again, another impulse that looks like could be finishing up at any moment. Maybe. So yeah, I don't know. Could be ready for a big wave 3 breakout in a penny stock. I don't know. Yeah, I think if you're started a bounce, I think this is a real bounce. I don't think it's a fake out. But I do think the bounce will fail eventually. It's just what you're going to have to do is as it bounces, you have to raise your stop. So here's your stop. Now this is your stop. Once you turn, now this will be your stop. And you just got to keep raising it until the market tells you it's over. The pump's over. That's the only way to trade this I can think of because you can't really count the beginning of it. All right, IVDA. Let's take a look at this one. So this one looks a little different. Yeah, again, we can't really use our RSIs, maybe a little bit, but you know, some kind of 3-wave move here, 3-wave move up. We've held this low so far, but we've broke that low. So this one's a little more probably a little more dangerous than the other one on the long side. Again, we can't really get a good target. So there's your weekly cycle. Well below it, still in the bear market. There's your bottom. There's your like a 3. But this could be a big trap in like an A, B, C, and it pumps to like $4 from here. So let's look at the daily cycle and see what it's doing. Yeah, it's 3 down for sure. You see that monthly cycle there? See how it broke? Interesting. So this is a tough one. Here's how you play this. There's only one bullish play on this, and I actually think it's a low risk given where it's trading now. You have to play it like it's going to be a big flat like that. and you just have to play it off this low at 26 cents and just go for it. You're just going to have to stick your neck out and go for it. There's really no other way to kind of gauge it. Now here you see you have no bullish divergence, so more than likely it's going to come back down. Now if it breaks this low, this is negated, because then you're going to have 5 down in this. You're going to have 5 down here instead of 3. You'll have 5. This will be negated. You'll get a 5th wave, and then it'll rally, but not as much. So to me, this looks like a fake out at this point. But is there a lotto play in it? Sure, there is. You know, there is. But it would be very speculative, and you would be just basically buying it at 39 cents, keeping a stop loss at 27 cents, and then hoping you get lucky at the casino. And if you do, you're going to make a lot of money in this pump. But if you don't, you're going to just stop out, and then it's just going to grind lower, and with a retrace at some point. That's what I'm seeing. But this is the only bullish play that's still valid, because I see 3, 3, 3. Divergence got erased here. You have 3. This could be a classic expanded flat connector. We see this again all the time in the market. And you know, you destroy bears, you destroy bull, you destroy everybody in the market, and then the market trend continues. Could do that. And I'd be looking. Yeah, see, by the time you see that weekly cycle break, you're going to miss most of the move. But the daily cycle is already broke. So you already have, you have a little bit of confidence to go long. But then again, when I look at this leg, it doesn't look like it's very impulsive to me. All right, Donald, let's go to yours, NVDL. So the thing about NVDL, NVIDIA, is we have to go back to NVIDIA, the stock, and just kind of put it in perspective of where things are with the market right now. First, this is the typical area the connector would fail, but it didn't. Okay, so no big deal, but it could still easily be in a connector. Now, again, I look at this chart here, and let's take a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but you erase divergence. So maybe, again, maybe I could talk myself into the correction being over. Even though this looks like an impulse down, I'll ignore that. I'll just say that's 4. Okay, if that's 4, then this is 5. So that means this NVDL has a little bit more upside left, but not much more. So where do we go? Where is earnings? Where are we trading in earnings? If NVIDIA is trading at 152 going into earnings, that's pretty risky. If it's not, maybe it could pump up in earnings and reverse. So again, we're in this wave 5, right? So the other possibility is still in this connector. And again, I have to show you, again, this wave took months to play out, months. This is about half complete. It's like we're here. It's almost like we're like here on this wave. So again, you're going to have to decide what you want to do. I think NVIDIA is a coin flip. I wouldn't want to buy it. Hell no, I wouldn't want to buy it. I wouldn't want to short it either. To me, this is just entertainment to watch. Because watch people blow themselves up on both sides of the market. Because honestly, I don't know. I think it could make this wave 5 push and then end going into earnings and have a collapse. It could be up here and then jump in wave 5 into earnings, or it finishes its cycle, which it should, and then this was 5 down, and it was labeled right before. So I don't know. So I think that's how you have to look at that. Now I'll look at the the levered funds here, and see if that gives us any additional insight. So we did have a bounce area here. It bounced, sure enough, but I have it as a connector. It's just too short. If we come back, looking at it, the whole move is done. So we're correcting the whole cycle from this existence. Typically, you would make it down to 24.66. We didn't. Okay. Let's look at the RSIs. So it bottomed out, which is fine. That's a W. Fine. Here is corrective. No divergence. So it's not an impulse. So this X could end at any moment because it's still 3 waves. Now if we get a 4 and a 5, that changes everything. So it's a wild card. It's a wild card because I think this is too quick. But technically, I guess you could say wave 2's in, right? You could, right? You completed 3 swings. You erased divergence. You hit an area deep enough. Maybe it is in. If that's the case, then Nvidia is going to extend in 5, right? This will be into wave 3. Nvidia will moon, right? That's what this is saying. That's what this is saying. So if I look at this, I just can't tell you. I just don't know where it's going to go. There's too many possibilities, too many paths in the market. My instincts tell me it wants to double correct at some point, like I had here. So I'll give you my instincts as a trader that at some point it's going to fail and it's going to come back down for one more low and we're going to tag this area here. That's what I think will happen. But I would never trade it. I would never go long. I would never short it. It's just, if you're asking me what I think it's going to do, I think this could happen very likely. And I showed you the Nvidia chart. So you guys, you're just going to have to do what's best for you on that. Tesla's kind of in the same situation. Tesla's another one that the chart itself doesn't look good to me right now. So Tesla's in a short area. Okay. The 4-hour, no divergence. Okay. Now, when you look at this, you have your 3 and then you have your 5 up, finishing up. Problem I have here is we only have 3 up here. Okay. That's a problem. That's a big problem. Okay. That's not a simple problem to overcome. Now, there is a possibility that it doesn't do this and the connector extends and Y comes later. Right, so that's not relevant. Right, there's always that chance because we have 3 down. So how do we know? We just don't know. Unfortunately, we just don't know how this will play out. Well, actually, this would be the connector would extend up. We'll do something like that. So we just don't know. So that's why I don't like trading these connectors in these sideways areas. But the trade still is to short it, given everything I see. And now, if we could break out of this wedge again, maybe not. Maybe then you could play the connector. So I think, again, it's a 50-50. It's a 50-50 move. I don't like trading it. I like to be on the sidelines here. There's really, to me, it's too many possibilities, too many paths from an Elliott wave perspective. But I do know is since it's 3 waves, even if this connector runs up to 346, 350, it will fail. And Y is coming because of the structures within these waves, because of the corrective nature in these waves. That's all I'm saying. Now, TSLL, let's take a look. So TSLL never made it to the 543 area, and this actually had divergence. So TSLL is actually showing you a warning sign. The market could go lower. Here, it looks like it's probably some kind of impulse that will fail and take another dip lower. But you're in a B. You're in a B right now. You're bouncing. So you're bouncing. And this looks like 3, not 5. Okay, that looks like 3 and 3. So it looks like we keep moving in 3, but this set of 3 isn't done. It looks like it's just on an impulse here of some kind, like that, and then you'll have a swing up. At some point, maybe it can come up to 13 and 14, up to here, up to this area, but I think at some point you'll get that. So tough to say, but I don't like trading it. I think the structure is no good to me because we did not get 5 waves up off this buy area. So it's just not tradable anymore for how I like to do it. And it's really in this area that really traps a lot of traders and tricks them, and and there's probably better things, you know. But I think I look at it, and honestly, the short would be the way to go as long as you're. But once you break out of this wedge again, this downtrend, this downtrend, then I think you got to play this connector wave. So I guess we'll know tomorrow probably. Okay, TK went. Way I trade the altcoins, I'll just show you how I used to trade them. I don't know if this worked. It used to work for me. I don't really trade that way anymore. Like, we can find one. We'll just find a random one. Dogecoin. What the hell? Okay. Well, that's not. Let's get something more obscure. I don't know. KDA. Let's do KDA. All right. So the shorter time frames is what I like to do. Is first I like to come and label it. Okay. So we came off this low. It looks like it's some kind of impulse off the low. All right. So I always like to label it because you need to know like where you are. And that looks like 3 waves down, right? Erase divergence a little bit. It's good enough, close enough. And then we broke the high. So once you break the high, you create a move on a higher, you should get a higher high. So you should get more upside to 56 cents here, somewhere around here. So right away I know, okay, the right side I want to be on is buying this. So the question is when I want to buy this up to 56 cents. So how do I know when to buy it? So I'll go to the 15-minute here. And see, there's no divergence, but here you came up and you reset the whole cycle here, and you came back and came down. So this is a classic 1-2-1-2 setup. Typically, is what you see before you get a wave 3 like move. So the question is now, are we in some kind of wave 2? And so the way to day trade this, you can maybe go to the 5-minute and look. So you see you have your 3 legs down, erase divergence, and you have 3 up. So now you're in this middle area here. So either the 2's in, so you could buy it here with a stop loss at 47.8. Okay, but you know, there's just like, you're guessing, or you could pray you'll get a bigger dip down, and then you have a much cleaner entry down here at 46.83 down here, and you could buy it here. So if I was day trading it, the question will be, I buy it, I go long, and here's my stop at 47.83, and I'm just cool with that loss. I bet as much as I'm willing to lose, and I play that. That's the day trade. Or I wait, it dips down, I buy that, go long, put the stop loss at 45.5, and play that. That's how I would play this. A lot of traders would wait for the breakout. I don't usually do that. I would have probably watched it. Either when it hit this wave, I would have bought it here or bought it on that pullback here and then been long since that low. But since again, this is just a way to day trade. That's how I day trade it. That's how I trade it if I was trading it. And there's just a random coin I just picked, and there's hundreds of these. You could just do this all day if you have the time. So good luck. All right. All right, Bama. Let's do SIGA. Let's take a look at SIGA here. All right. Let's see here. I thought we've done that. Maybe it's not on our list here. Name sounds familiar. Yeah, it looks like we have done it. All right. Okay, so this is playing out just like we thought. No changes. So I don't know if you've asked me about this before, but it looks like the wave 3 is trying to be resurrected here. Looks like a big flat that finished. So yeah, this looks like it's about to have a wave 3 breakout at any moment. That's what it looks like to me. But you're in this 2 still. So this 2 could still come back down to 788. This could be a connector, or it could be done here at 958. Ready to launch. All right, ARMN. Hit our buy area perfectly coming up. So the question is, did it go deep enough Personally, I don't think it went deep enough. Although we did get the bounce like we wanted, I bet it's going to take another swing lower. So don't be surprised again if it makes another move down, but it doesn't have to. You see, you have no divergence there. This is corrective, corrective. So this could be this may have one more leg lower. Don't be surprised if it makes another leg lower. I'll give the new buy area if it does that here. So the new buy area will be at 355 in this area. So it could take this leg low. Now this is just 3 waves. If it can make a 4 and a 5, then that's the low. So we just don't know yet. It just doesn't seem like it's deep enough. It didn't have enough time. So I would just say I would be looking for another push down. Thanks for the super chat. All right, Mark V. Let's keep going. All right. TVK. TVK. TSX. All right. So this one looks pretty bullish. Have to go to the real high time monthly. All right. So that's good. That's a wave 3 of 3. So you're in some kind of wave 3 of 3 action, which is good and bad. It means probably the easy money's over, but the good is you will have 4s and 5s to keep the market going for a while higher. That's probably your first 1-2 right there. So looks like you're at this wave 3 peak. So it looks like you got 1, 4, and 5 left to come. And then it's got a big sell-off ahead of it. So let's take a closer look here at a couple of things. So it looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this doesn't look complete to me. Looks like you have a little bit more upside in this wave 5 to create some more bearish divergence at the top. And then it peaks and something like that. That's what I'm thinking. All right, good luck with that. And then ATD. TSX. All right, ATD. So here you haven't seen the wave 3. I'm not sure why this is so bullish. I wonder what they do. I have to look in a minute. So you have like a 1, 2, 1. You have a lot of 1, 2s here playing out. That's probably your first 3, 4 right there. So this one's got probably in a wave 5 right now. It looks like it needs a little more upside to finish. You'll probably have massive bearish divergence there, and when you do, then you should get a even bigger pullback. This could be like a 1, 2. Something like that is coming. Now, and then that will peak in 3. And so you're going to have a lot of choppy sideways action coming. Again, the easy money is probably over in this for years. But Will there be more upside? Yeah, it looks like you'll get more upside, but it'll be very choppy once this 5 finishes out at some point. All right, good luck. What I am curious, what do they do? What do these guys do? Why is this so convenience stores? Fuel operates under Circle K. Oh, that's why. Okay, interesting. Johnny, let's take a look at this one. MLGO. Let's take a look at that. Yeah. Micro algo. Okay, we've looked at this in the past. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, we're close to that wave 5, huh? I bet it. Yeah, I bet that wave 5 came in today. So yeah, that's all we got in 4. Yeah, I bet that 5 is done. So yeah, clearly that 5 is done. So probably it's got more upside. I mean, trying to label this is tough, but we'll do our best. I mean, we'll have to go like, again, these smaller time frames are notoriously inaccurate, but we have nothing else to look at. You see how you have no divergence here? So this is a corrective bounce off the low. Let's see here. I went to extended trade in. So we do have a trade below this low here. And then you see an extended hours trade in, a lot of it faded. So see, we were missing a lot of price data. So sometimes I do pop on that extended hours just to make sure I have a complete picture. So you have a massive extended fifth, and we all know what happens. It loses the fifth, right? It loses all that. So it's going to probably bleed all the way back down and then have another pump later is probably what's going to happen. And breaking this low was probably the key thing. I just don't know how it should have another pump, but I don't know how low it's going to go. Typically, it will go to the 4 and take the whole 5 out. And again, see, the day is not even here on TradingView. It's like after hours, so we wouldn't know that. See, so anyway, just kind of pointing that out. So it is impulsive, so we should swing up another bit. And then after that, I mean, it could go back and break this low. All right. Anonymous, yeah. Will MIG squeeze, or is it just going to go down? Well, again, it's really, I think, depends on a couple things, a couple factors. Here, let me look at this again. See, getting these short-term swings and connector waves is almost impossible to get 100%. So Elliott waves gives you like probability, but it doesn't guarantee you the trade, right? It's not like the Bible, it's not the Quran, it's not like Holy Scripture that the market is, servant to the like it's a probability tool. And sometimes you just can't really get a good read on it, even though, and this is a perfect example. This is stuck. This is essentially both sides of the market in a stalemate. Think of it as a poker match that you're at the end of the hands. The pot's pretty big, but nobody's made their move yet. We don't know. Are they bluffing? Are they not? But you got to call. Now the card's got to come out. So this is where that happens, and either you'll get this move up, which should fail, or you won't, and it's going to collapse. And it's really that binary. And to try to hope for the pump against the trend lower is not recommended. Now, what we do know is this. What we could do is, what sector does this trade with? Digital assets, so yes, and crypto. So if it trades with Bitcoin, we can watch Bitcoin for clues. So maybe Bitcoin will tip their hand. So what's Bitcoin doing right now? Let's take a look. Okay. So Bitcoin is trying to pump. Is X going to move up? Again, this almost looks like Bitcoin's graph stuck, right? Is it going to move? Like, where is it going to go? So maybe if you could see Bitcoin break 62,000, like 200, then MIGI is going to probably move higher. If it doesn't, it's probably going to go lower. Maybe Bitcoin will make its move first, and then the market participants are clueless and they don't know, and you can arbitrage that and get ahead of it, right? Get ahead of it. That's the only way to play probably this without just going to the casino and saying you got, are you on red or green? Because here it's, again, if Bitcoin's going to go over 62 and swing up, this will probably come up and touch 190. If it doesn't, then this is probably going to collapse. It's that simple. But do I know? I just can't predict the future. I'd be very rich man if I could predict the future. Unfortunately, we just have probabilities, and right now this graph is showing a stalemate between buyers and sellers, and there's no indecision, and no one's made a move yet, but somebody will. All right, next CH, ZIM and HIMS. I had my eye on both of those. ZIM is a very interesting one, and again, I'm not saying it that I'm going to take it or I took it. I'm just telling you I noticed it. So don't all freak out about it if it doesn't work out, but I'm just going to point out something about ZIM. I'll have to find it first here. So you guys haven't been watching ZIM. It's been slowly moving up and up and up, right? It's caught my eye. Sure as heck caught my eye, but we need to be smart about this. So ZIM looks like it's impulsive off the low. So what I was hoping for was a push lower on this connector here, but we didn't quite get it. So I look at this again. You see how you kind of bounced, and I don't like how the bottom formed, but we have this low. So I was hoping for a push down, great buy opportunity. We didn't get it. It pumped, but it fell short. It's only 3 swings, so it's a couple things. It's either going to pull back into go a little deeper, or it's about to launch, and it's just. We just don't know. We don't have enough data, but if you really look at this pattern, you have a massive inverse head and shoulders ready to break out. I mean, it could easily break out to go to 38. If so will it break out to go? Yeah, it's going to do it. It's just a matter of when, probably. But how's it going to do it? Is the market going to screw the bulls here that decided to get, too excited? Or is it just going to run now? I don't know. Is it going to do this or just run tomorrow? Don't know. But I do like it for more upside because we have 5 up. I do think it's coming out. The next one is HIMS. Was another one in a buy area today or the other day. I don't know if it was today or not. I don't remember. I looked at it. If I can find it here. There it is. All right, so it's in a buy area. You got 3 down, classic correction, capitulation. So this is a buy right now. Problem is we didn't go deep enough. Typically, we did fill this gap, which was interesting. 2 could be in. It's possible. The 2's in there, or it could bounce. But I think you're going to get a bounce. So again, I think you're going to get a bounce here. But then it could easily do that. But then again, it could also launch. So we just don't know. But it should bounce here. It looks like it's doing that. And this is another one that caught my eye today. And we did break this high off of that wick. So it's trying to find a bottom in process in this cycle. Let's look at the daily cycle. It's probably about to have a whole new daily cycle higher in this bounce. Right? Not confirmed yet. Can't get too excited. And if we fail, it'll be 5 ways down. So what happens if we fail? Well, then it would change the labeling to something like this. And then, well, probably bounce still. But then we'll definitely fail. Something like that. So for right now, I'll label it this way. But until that daily cycle breaks, it could still trap you with another minor low in 5 and then run and then fail again later. So tough to say, but for those interested, this is probably an area where you want to start to buy it. Okay, good. Thanks again for that. All right, I got through all my super chats. I'm going to go ahead and just look at any other questions here. I gave the bull case earlier. VRA. I don't have the chart. I'll check if I have the chart later, actually. Yeah, thanks, guys. There's a 20-year bond auction for the I wonder how that's going to go. Baba, I still think China has one more swing lower, guys. I don't think it's bottomed yet, especially if the dollar index is going to run higher. So I don't think it's bottomed. I'm still looking for one more low, something like that. And then VRA, I think a long time ago we did that. Yeah, a long time ago. You know, what's crazy is we called that low on our channel. Now that was a nice buy for those who took it. And then we called the pump, and then we called the short here, the short. But then I think that was it. See, we never made that fifth wave. So that's what happens. You don't make the fifth wave, then it just becomes a corrective structure. And let's see here. And now it's probably going to come out and take that low out, take this low out. So VRA, we definitely did well trading it back early at the end of this correction. We definitely called that. Now we got this three-wave move. This was a three-wave move. So it's a very corrective structure off the low. So now it seems likely that it's going to break this low and another 5 waves down. So yeah, we can't really get a good target here. You can see the cycle reset. You can see that's a 1-2 of some kind, or maybe, yeah, it's got to be a 1-2, and then, so we're just entering the wave 3 area. So yeah, it's probably going to come down and break these lows. It's got to do this all over again. This 5-wave move. It's got to go do a 5-wave move down. I wish I had better news. It's just it was very tradable here when this ended, but and again, when this ends, it'll be very tradable again as well, if it's still around. Oh yeah, let's look at GME. We always like to look at GME. GME, last I looked at it, it was trying to form a fifth wave with some divergence, which is what bulls you want to see. You want to see that. So yeah, see, every time there's very little, there's very subtle, but you have a little bit of bullish divergence at this peak, but it's only 3. So I wouldn't get too excited. Maybe you could make one more high tomorrow to really confirm it. So I think it's a little premature to label it 5 waves like this. I think that's not right. But if we could get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if we could just come up, then I think you could go with this kind of labeling, and then you could say that this is a low, and then you could, but of course after 5 you got to pull back, and it could pull back pretty deep. So it's like good and bad, I guess, for traders of it, but this doesn't look to have the right look. So maybe one more high. And again, if you come up and erase divergence, then it negates the impulse and it's still corrective, and it means it could still come back down and break this low. So we'll have to wait and see how this plays out tomorrow, I guess. Best way to learn Elliott waves is just a lot of information on the internet, and to just kind of follow people like me, and you'll learn it. You'll pick it up. Viking broke the trend line. Yeah, Viking, I think, had an after hours move. Again, that was one I was watching for the trend line break to see if we get a cycle higher or not. But then in the back of my mind, I know the market's overextended, so I don't want to chase it. Oh, it looks like it happened at the end of the day. I just didn't see it. So yeah, so is it a fake out or not? I mean, if you look at this again at the daily time frame, that's fine. You erase divergence, but the problem I have here is this bounce is in 3. It's not in 5 waves, and then this is looks like only in 3 as well here. So this just looks like, again, more of a connector, and the connector should break the trend line because you're correcting the whole cycle. So I think it is a fake out. Now this would raise our target. So where would this end up? One of these expanded flats, something like that. So I think it's something like that's coming, which I'm not surprised to see. The market again loves to do this type of pattern. We see it time and time again now, and comes up something like that. So I think maybe short term it isn't, but I think this will pull back. I just think it's going to pull back whenever this ends. One more swing, and we do have this gap. The market seems to love to fill gaps lately, so we'll have to wait and see. So what would be the target of the gap fill? Let's take a look. Let's try to play this out. So that would bring us, so that brings you up to $92. So maybe it pumps all the way to 92, and then it could back test and gap fill, and then find support right on the gap fill. So I don't know. I think it could push higher, but I bet it's like a connector wave forming here. All right, MSOS, I'll just take a quick look at that for you, and then I think that's it. I got through everybody that's asking a question, which I think is a first. Alrighty, MSOS. So I still have it in a 2, although the full cycle reset. So I wouldn't call it a 2 anymore. We'll probably say that 5 is in, and we're a counter trend rallying in an B wave. So we could see more upside in B in like a 3-wave move of some kind, and then lower. So yeah, it looks like the cycle is over. What's interesting, you see all that capitulation there? That was unusual to see. So maybe the way to label it is to put the 4 there, put like a 5 here, or hell even there, and then put the A there, and then you could put the B there, and then it does something like that. That'd probably be a better look. Something like that. All right, good luck on that. You see that divergence? So yeah, more than likely it's gonna take another swing down. All right, got another super chat come in from Michael, First Solar. So I'm not a fan of the solar stocks at the moment because I believe oil is going lower, and if I believe that means solar should get knocked out. First Solar, I'll get to it. So we're looking for it to tag 241 here, and then it should that should be it if this works out. So we're looking for 241 here, and then a big rug pull. That's what we're looking for. I still think it's going to go lower because the tan, I still believe, may have kind of the same chart here, will be going lower. So then BA. I think BA got saved by the market maker from a massive, like an Intel moment. Almost had its own Intel moment. So it's got to stay above 159. I think it got a new CEO everyone got excited about. But again, if you look at this wave down, I guess you could say it's corrective. We don't know yet. So you could put the 2 there. And I could easily say it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if we get this wave 5 tomorrow with some divergence, then the low is in, and we should pull back, and then that's buyable. That's buyable for more upside, just like I have here. If we don't, then Bowen shareholders are about to get decimated, worse than they've ever imagined, because this would be a connector, then this would drop, break this low, which would break this low, and you would have your Intel moment all over again. So I think you got to stay bullish because the bearish case is almost too hard to think about. It's almost unthinkable because it's such a popular stock and it's really tied to the Dow Jones Index significantly too. It also has implications for the market, like dynamic, I guess, the sector and other baskets of stocks that trade with this. So I think you'll make that high, then you got an impulse, and then it'll pull back and come out. Jeremy. Yeah, sure. SYTA. Let's look at that. SYTA. All right, let's take a look. All right, so this is one of those go to zeros. I'm not even going to bother with that. So here, the best thing to do again is you try to find like where, oh, that's weird. Okay, sorry about that. I wasn't looking at it the right way. My bad. All right. Well, it definitely reset the cycle. Yeah, I mean you're still in the correction. You're still in a correction. Maybe you're just trying to come out of the daily cycle here. So I think you're trying to come out of this cycle. This cycle looks like it's trying to end, but it's ended in 3. Yeah, maybe you have a little bit of 4 and a 5 here, but you still don't have confirmation. So I'll try to number it for you here. I think it's got, so either if this is moving in 3 waves, this bounce is going to be pretty big. If it's moving in 5, it won't be, and then you'll get 5, and then the bounce will be big. I just don't know how it's going to move on you. But I think this is where you are. I think it is due a bounce. It looks like the daily cycle's trying to reverse, which should give you a bounce. I just don't know how big it's going to be. Could you fill this gap? Maybe. Could you fill this gap? Probably not. So, but if it's going to move in 3, it could even. So we just don't know. We just don't know how this is moving, because it's just we don't have enough data to really do it justice. But as you can see, it's come a long way down, and it's almost coming to an end where you get a bigger counter trend rally. All right. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. So appreciate it all. We'll just take one last look at the market futures here. Yeah, we're starting to see sellers. Oh my God, people are selling. Can you believe that? But that's not a lot of selling at all. How's the Nikkei doing? Nikkei still looks like it could go up more. Right? How's the Japanese yen doing? Trying to figure out what it wants to do. Do we want to surprise the market, or do we want to pump the market? carry trade on, or we're going to rug pull it. So we haven't decided yet. So this is really just noise. This is like, to me, it's basically meaningless. So we don't really have a lot of price action. Maybe the market's waiting for the Nikkei to tap here, and then we could get that reversal. And Bitcoin, again, it's desperately trying to get the shorts out of it because it just doesn't want short to make money that easy. But we'll have to wait and see if it has enough power to get this X going higher or not. And how's oil? Weak. All right, guys.